So we're pretty sure that the Apple event will take place on the 23rd of this month, and we also are pretty sure that it will include the new Apple TV. So what do we know and what do we expect? Let's ramble.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it wants.
Hey, what's up guys? It's great to see you all again, and if you're new here, I'm Patrick and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. So the Apple event is imminent and we already talked about a few things we hope and expect to see there, like the new iPad Pro as well as a revamped Apple Pencil. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link to those videos at the end of this one. Anyway, today we're talking about the Apple TV, so let's do it. Alright, so why do we even think there will be a new Apple TV? Well, for a couple of reasons. One, it's about damn time, okay? We've been waiting for a new model for almost 3.5 years now, and that's like a decade in tech years. The newest current model is the Apple TV 4K, which came out in 2017, and it runs on the same A10X Fusion chip as the 2017 iPad Pro. The other current model is the Apple TV HD, which is from 2015 and runs on the A8 chip, which is the same chip we find in the iPhone 6. I mean, come on. But it is definitely not the first time we have waited this long for a refresh of the Apple TV. In fact, the record is currently at 4 years. Let's have a quick look at the evolution of the Apple TV. So the first one was launched in January 2007. Makes you feel old, doesn't it? The second gen Apple TV wasn't launched until 4 years later in September 2010. Then it got a refresh relatively quickly in 2012, but then we were back to waiting for 3.5 years for the current HD model, and another 2 years for the latest 4K model. So yeah, a new Apple TV is definitely due. The second reason why we all think we might see the new Apple TV at the March event is because Jon Prosser said so. A couple of days ago, he tweeted this, a simple 23, which obviously refers to the 23rd of March, the date for the Apple event, and the second part of that tweet, which says, updated info from a reliable source, products that are ready, AirTags, iPad Pro, AirPods, and Apple TV. Now, Jon Prosser isn't always right, but he's right a good amount of the time. Having said that, he has been wrong about the Apple TV because in May 2020, he tweeted this, new Apple TV with A12X chip ready to ship. Granted, he didn't say when it would ship, but surely he didn't mean the next year. But to be fair to Jon, it's possible that the Apple TV was in fact ready, but that it's been delayed because of the pandemic, either because of shortages in parts, or because Apple was just waiting to launch it alongside a catalog of new shows. But of course, producing new shows right now is kind of difficult as well. Anyway, so now we're expecting it on the 23rd, and Prosser is not the only one suggesting this. Mark Gurman at Bloomberg also reported back in December that something would be arriving in the spring of 2021. Alright, so we expect a new Apple TV because it's time and because Jon Prosser said so. But that's not all. Apple Arcade came to the Apple TV in September 2019, and 1 month later, we saw the launch of Apple TV Plus. So it's a little weird that this didn't go hand in hand with a hardware update for the Apple TV. Last year, Apple introduced the Apple One subscription package, which includes Apple TV Plus, as well as Apple Music and iCloud, but still no hardware upgrade. But also, since Apple Arcade came to the Apple TV, it's been rumored that Apple is going hard on gaming. Jon Prosser talked about a new gaming controller, and we also saw this tweet by Fudge, which says, Apple Arcade is getting big money poured into it and that Apple is working on bringing premium gaming titles that can rival other consoles. And this could of course also explain why Apple waited with the refresh of this Apple TV, because if it's gonna be serious about gaming, the new model is gonna need a powerful chip. As it also says in the tweet by Fudge, some games will require an A13 chip or higher. Jon Prosser suggested that it might be an A12X chip, like the one used in the 2018 iPad Pro, but it wouldn't be that far-fetched to assume that it might even come with an A14 chip or something similar. Also, do you remember Google Stadia? I mean, Stadia isn't technically dead, but with Google pulling the plug on Stadia games and entertainment, a lot of people will view it that way, and I would have to agree. I mean, we all know what Google does when something doesn't catch on very quickly. So it's not unreasonable to assume that Apple might swoop in and pick up some of that potential market share. And this to me would also answer the question of why do we even want a new Apple TV? And this is because it has its own App Store and because of Apple Arcade. Because if it wasn't for that, a lot of TVs already have Apple TV built in, and these days there are a lot of alternatives for streaming content like the Chromecast, the Roku, and the Amazon Fire Stick, all of which are a lot cheaper. In my opinion, it would make a lot of sense for Apple to produce something simpler and cheaper to compete with those other streaming dongles and focus on high-end content and gaming for their Apple TV box. So what do we expect in terms of specs? We just talked about the chip, but we also heard that it might come with more storage. But then again, most things will be streamed, so I don't know how relevant that would actually be. But we also heard that the new Apple TV might come with updated HDMI 2.1, which has very low latency, and that would of course make a lot of sense for things like gaming. A couple of rumors also include some new features like better integration with the Apple HomePod. I mean, currently we can use it as an audio source for the Apple TV, but it would be great if we could also control the Apple TV through Siri that way. Currently, we need the remote for that, which kind of defeats the purpose. Speaking of the remote, will there be a new one? The Apple remote and all of its limitations is probably the least popular feature of Apple TV. Bloomberg reported in September of last year that a new remote control might include features like Find My Remote, which will work in the same way as the Find My Phone feature we have now, and this could help you figure out, in which couch you probably lost your remote. Personally, I don't like the current remote very much. I get Apple's simplicity and everything approach, but this remote could really do with a few more buttons or at least a larger trackpad. So there you have it. I guess we will have to wait and see what happens on the 23rd to see which of these rumors and speculations will be true. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. Feel free to subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.